and found fiber. I said, there you are. There was a fiber past in the United States. And then they came to Egba Alake and dug, and dug, and dug, and dug, and found nothing. And the Yoruba archaeologist said, see, we had a wireless past. Thank you for laughing and clapping. My objective here today is to demonstrate to you that it is not a joke. We actually did have a wireless past based on speech surrogacy in which we use drums to communicate. We use drums, flutes, bowed strings, clock strings, various musical instruments because of the tonality of the Yoruba language. Now we have lots of scholars in ethnomusicology, in linguistics, in psychology, in technology, such as myself, who have looked at these issue of tonality, and we have found that actually there is sufficient information in Yoruba tones to the extent that if you throw away the consonants and the vowels, like our drummers do, you are still able to communicate. And what we have been successful in demonstrating, both mathematically and using physics, because I concur to Prof's mention of the complexity of polyrhythm, which could be even confounding to mathematics sometimes. But we have been able to demonstrate mathematically and using physics that if we take account of the tonality of our languages, then we can develop a totally different system for speech technologies and particularly telecommunications. And we have demonstrated that the bandwidth you will need to communicate our languages is about 10 times smaller than you will need for conventional telecommunications, because we can do away with the consonants and the vowels and still understand our language. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adegbola. Thank you for being generous with your time. You didn't even complete it, but that's good for me. I'm going to call on Chief Morano Oyelami, all the way from Iragbiji.
Thank you very much. Because of the time limit, I'm going to be very brief, but normally I would have loved to do a kind of demo with my talk. But as it is now, I will just talk about the two publications I've been keeping. You know, I have these manuscripts since over 10 years. No publisher to get it published because Evans Publishing Company and the likes, they don't think it's commercially viable. But you see, I come about this notation invention because I had challenges when I was to teach Yoruba music to 100 level, 200 level students at the then University of Ife. I had no source book to fall back upon, so I did a lot of research and developed a kind of graphical notation for our rhythms. And my uncle, Professor Shoyinka, mentioned something about the polyrhythm. I have all the polyrhythms within the Yoruba musical genre. For example, the ritual music, when the Iyalu player starts, the Iyalu is the improviser or the talking drummer. The other instrumentalists are the Olomele, otherwise called secondary rhythm instrumentalists. They have steady patterns to be played depending on the kind of music being introduced by the Oniyalu, that's the lead drummer. So I've worked on this for over 10 years but before I got a grant to get it together, and it was published in 1991 by Iwalewa House, funded by one friend of my uncle here, Professor Ulibaya. He funded the research, and I was in Barrett for some time, and this is the result. Also, I did similar work on the Dundu. Why all this? I think it's not enough to have this music being played at parties or festivals. We should be able to teach these rhythms to the school children, right from primary school to the tertiary institution. But I'm here to appeal to whoever may be interested in getting this published. I have this for them to look through, and I hope I can have my way. Thank you very much. Secondly and lastly, I do not talk alone because I'm a drummer. So I have my drum here, and I have to at least pay homage to one or two of our orishas, starting with Ogun. Normally you have, in an ensemble setup, you have Iyaelu and Olomeles. But here, for obvious reasons, I'm alone here, but I'm going to play it all by myself. First, Ekabo Kabiesi. Ogun korobiti, korobiti. Ogun korobiti, korobiti. Ogun benile, Ogun beloko, Ogun benibode.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
so
very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason we allowed Chief to go that length was because it was meant to perform a dual role as a speaker and then at the same time as a performer. So he has been able to combine both. That's why he used more than 5 minutes. Please, let's give him a round of applause. And while he was on the session, a big masquerade came into the hall. I'd like to very specially welcome and recognize the royal presence of the Alayelua Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, the Ooni of Ife. BSO.